Back to the 6th century, Portugal had the ancient name of Lusitania, from the time when the Romans were occupying Europe. A bit after their demise, the Moors invade the Iberian Peninsula. The Moors were Arab people from the north of Africa. They came through Gibraltar in 711 and took almost all the peninsula. Some Christian groups resisted and pushed it back over the years. The leader of one of these groups was Afonso Henriques, who was pushing in the west part and later proclaimed himself the first king of Portugal. In this time started the first dispute with Spain. It was hard to keep their noses out of our borders, so Portugal decided to make an alliance with Britain in 1386. We started this way the one that is the oldest alliance in the world, something that lasts till today. Without this problem, Portugal set sail and started exploring the oceans. Colonies were settled in 5 continents, from which the most important one was Brazil in 1500. Everything seems good till Sebastião, a 24-year-old king, decides to invade Africa leading the army, dying and leaving the country without a king and a heir to the throne. Philip II of Spain takes Portugal. Was this a disaster? Well, was not so bad. Philip II allowed us to keep our laws, currency and status. The problem was the grandson, Philip IV. Philip IV was involved in the 30 Years' War and wanted to turn Portugal into a province of Spain. The nobles of Portugal didn't like it. Knowing Spain was struggling in the 30 Years' War, John IV, Duke of Bragança, started the Portuguese Restoration War. Signing the Treaty of Lisbon, Portugal got the independence back. Years later, gold was found in Brazil. Portugal was rich, passing a good time, but 20 years later, in 1755, an earthquake hits Lisbon, one of the strongest ever. The quake, tsunamis and fires completely destroyed that was one of the richest cities in the world. The king asked Marquês of Pombal to rebuild the city, something he did using good economic reformations, making of Lisbon what it is today. You can see statues of them over the city and even main avenues. He had the support of the king, but not from his daughter. When the king died, she exiled them. Later Napoleon tried to conquer Portugal 3 times, but the British helped us defeating them, while our king was running to Brazil, something that led to Brazil independence. In 1819, the British made an ultimatum to Portugal. They wanted Portugal to remove the troops from the middle of Africa, so they can build a railroad connecting both sides of Africa, Cairo to South Africa. The king said yes, but the protests later escalated and led to the collapse of the Portuguese monarchy. A military coup in 1926 gave power to Salazar, a dictator. He was famous for his censorship, but was a very good economist, even able to reduce the public debt, but leaving the people of Portugal in complete misery. He ended up having a brain hemorrhage in the bathtub and was substituted by Marcelo Caetano. In April 25 of 1974, the Carnation Revolution finished the dictatorship without a single gunshot. Things got better. Portugal joined the European Union in 1986 and the country developed to what it is today.